All right. This is a quick demo on using the silhouette. I am not going to uh, make this too complicated, but basically we have uh, an image here, right? That's the shape. We have this silhouette, who I think most of you seen Frozen. You could figure out this is Olaf. Let me move him a little bit so his little hairs are not touching the edge. Try not to have your character come too close to the edge of the frame. Like, give them some breathing room. A lot of people just make it touch, and that tangency always bugs me. And to that end, I'm going to make it a little bit taller just because so that there's a little bit more room. Okay, so here's your piece. I'll turn off the background, but the background is white. Okay, I'm not going to worry about the background. I'm just going to, I'll just leave it on. Here's the reference image. What I want you to do is just color in the values on top of the silhouette. Okay, so what I've done is I've put the silhouette on a layer of its own, so that's transparent. And then see this box here that's next to the word lock? That means lock transparency. So if I grab a brush and I grab a color and I just draw, the color only appears on the character or on the silhouette because I've locked the background. I can't draw on the background. I can only draw on the character or whatever is inside of this layer. Okay? Whatever is already opaque. So you just put your black and white, your solid silhouette of a character, whatever color you want, and you can just grab a color. So for example, if I'm using this as an example, let's say I choose this value and color as the shadow. So if I'm on this layer, I just hit Alt Delete and it fills it in. Understand? Now, the important thing to notice with the silhouette is see how his carrot nose is sticking out over here? In the middle, you don't see that. So this silhouette by itself is not as good of a silhouette as this one because the nose adds recognizability. Plus, it tells you which way he's facing. Now, I can make it so that, his eyes would be like over here and his nose were facing this way, right? And then we got his uh, teeth and lips, whatever, you know, but he's looking towards us. Now, if I did this and just colored this in black and you don't really see his nose, now he's looking away. So with a silhouette, they're either looking towards you or away from you, but you can flip it because it's a silhouette. It's up to you to decide which way he's facing. And, you know, just simply take your brush, and I'm using mainly a soft edge and a hard edge brush because you'll see that along here you've got a lot of soft edges. So if I'm following, um, and let's just say the light is actually, let's say the light's going this way because he's facing the other way. Or you know what? I could even flip this. Hang on. So just to match this one so it's easier for you guys to understand what I'm looking at. Edit, transform, flip horizontal. So now he's looking the same way as this guy. So I can just grab colors with the soft edge brush and try to match the shape. Now, I'm messing up some of these details, but I'm getting this part right. Like I'm getting this part right and this part right. And all this stuff down here, I can just correct by just painting back into it whatever the value requires. But what I want you to do is try to make it feel like the light makes sense. So if the light is coming from this direction, that means all the shadows are going to be on that side, right? So light would be hitting this finger, this finger, this finger, the top of his arm, right? Let's see, maybe the light is going to be hitting over here. You know, it's debatable whether his arm's in shadow. Let's say his this much of his arm is in light. So we can, we're basically making him more dimensional, right? And now here, this is casting a hard edge. So I'm going to switch to a hard edge. And oops. See how that makes sense here? Like you can see like this hard edge underneath, and then it's still soft here, but hard here. That's because it's a cast shadow. Let's do that again over here. This is not ideal, but that's hard edge. This is soft edge. But that's the understanding that you've got, when something is round, the edge is soft and it turns quickly. If something is sharp, that means it's either a corner that's turning away or it's a shadow. So like, see his nose here? It's casting a shadow. So if we look here, we can create, create that shadow, and we'd have a hard edge shadow coming off of his nose. And I'm going to adjust the shape so it's a little bit more accurate. But see, you have that shape. And then all the other details, you know, with the eyebrow and whatever, like, you know, maybe it needs to be a little bit lighter, or maybe a little soft edge. But you get the idea, right? You understand what I'm asking for? Try to make it look realistic, and then try to get lighter on some of the light side of him. See? Like what I'm doing is not terribly difficult, but it's tricky to not mess up and go over parts that you've already done. It's just trying to make sure that your edges are correct. So if I were to, again, do this where this shape had to be continuous and make it, I would probably do it something like that where the light is hitting, but then I have to redraw the shadow to fix it. But just understanding that the form, the shapes, determine what the shadows and values are going to be. You can go lighter. Oh, there's all of these buttons on his shirt, right? And you don't have to use just the paint tools. You can also use these tools, dodge, burn. Burn makes it darker. Burn's the one that looks like this. And dodge is the one that looks like a lollipop. And you can add lights to areas. But y'all understand what it is I'm trying to get you to do. Just go from this flat shape to dimensional character. Okay? Just keep it that simple. You know, it doesn't have to be like confusing, hard. You know, I mean, I don't think I'm doing anything that's super crazy here. Just find ways where you can create value. You can also create reflected lights. Um, soft edge. Ugh, I hate when this thing comes off. You can put reflected lights on the backside with something that's not super bright. Like you can see reflected lights over here along this edge, right? You can see them. Don't make your reflected light overwhelm your main light. And don't be too dirty with it. Like don't overuse it. You can also smudge, but I would just kind of do that to smooth things out a little bit, not like everywhere. But you get the idea, I think. I think that makes sense. And I didn't take too long doing this. So it's better if you pick something really simple as your silhouette to turn dimensional, or, but pick something recognizable as a silhouette. Don't invent your own character yet for this. This is just an exercise for you to get better and better control. Okay? Hope you all understand that. Good luck.